I don't know if you knew this or not, but April is the 35th annual International Guitar Month. And what better way to celebrate than to welcome the founder and CEO of the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum right here in Nashville, Joe Chambers. And the man who has played with practically every star in music, the legendary guitarist on countless classics by Elvis, John Denver, and Ricky Nelson. Would you please welcome Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, one of the legends of the guitar, James Burton. Welcome, both of you. I'm excited to have both of you here. James, you know, I am in awe of your talent. You have played with everyone. Everyone that does an album or recording would love to have James Burton play on it. But you just keep going. You played, I mean, you couldn't tell us how many people you played with.
Oh, it's unbelievable, really. I'm so honored, and it's a blessing from God, you know, to put me in the places, the right place with the right artists.
When did you want to start playing the guitar?
Actually, when I was maybe 3 years old.
3 years old. But you developed a style of guitar playing that very few people have ever been able to emulate. It's called chicken picking.
You know, I actually started playing when I was 12, 13.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad bought me my first Telecaster guitar, Fender.
I'd say they did all right buying you that, you know?
Sure did.
Did they ever say, now, James, it's okay to play this thing, but you can't make a living at it?
You know, no, my mother said, you can't go to California.
That was a very smart mama. Very, very wise mama. But when you started playing with Elvis Presley, I mean, we've all heard the Elvis albums where he turns in the middle of the instrumental and says, play it, James, that's you. I mean, it's got to be cool to think that Elvis Presley is turning to you to turn the song over to you.
Well, when he says, play it, James, I gotta do something.
Joe, the Musicians Hall of Fame here in Nashville is honestly one of my very favorite places in the country. I tell people if they come to Nashville, lots of things to see and do, but if they don't come to the Musicians Hall of Fame, they will have missed one of the truly amazing places in this city, in this country.
You tell the truth.
It's the truth. We had a feature down there. You created that just out of your own desire, but why?
I don't know. I just, you know, I'm a baby boomer in the perfect definition of it, born in *54. And I just feel like I grew up listening to James and Elvis. That was my first, I remember singing Hound Dog on my grandparents' front porch down in South Georgia. And I liked the attention, so I had a band from I was 14 on. And then I came to Nashville in pursuit of a deal and ended up meeting my lifelong friend, Billy Sherrill, who was the president of CBS. He produced Tammy and George Jones and Charlie Rich, everybody. And so I flipped from rock and roll, wanting to be a rock star 120 pounds ago, to being a songwriter. So I wrote country songs for a while, and then I had my guitar shops. But while I was a songwriting, that's when I learned about the studio musicians. People like James. James is inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame, the very first induction.
That makes sense. You've brought some guitars, and you know they're out here for a purpose. Tell us about the guitars that are on the front of the stage.
Well, two of them James brought, which was what he was just talking about. The one, I think, the second one from the right was the one his parents bought him. He painted it red. It was originally white. And if you see the back of it, you see he sanded the paint off of it, and then he quit, you know. I think the first one, is that not your signature?
My signature model.
Yeah, signature model. And then next to it is the famous Paisley Telly that, and you really ought to tell him about what, he was scared to play that in front of Elvis because he thought it looked a little unmanly because of the Paisley look.
Well, you know, when we opened Las Vegas in '69, I played the one Mother and Dad bought me for the first 2 weeks. I was afraid to take the pink Paisley out because I was afraid what Elvis might say, something like.
So when you finally brought it out, did he like it?
He loved it.
I mean, a guy that has about pink Cadillac, you know, surely would like a pink guitar.
I told him I'd trade it for a pink Cadillac. No, but he, you know, we did 2 shows that night, and he saw the guitar. But he didn't say anything until later that night. He called me down to his dressing room, and he said, I noticed you're playing a different guitar tonight. And I said, yeah, I was a little nervous about bringing it out on stage. And he said, no, I love it. It looks great. Play it all you want. So,
That's great. Now, you got one by B.B. King, then one by Johnny Cash, Tom Petty, and the one in the end. That's pretty cool.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. It blew my mind that you had a guitar that was played by Jimi Hendrix. All of these guys, phenomenal guitar players. But quite frankly, we're sitting here with the phenomenal guitar player of all time, James Burton. We're going to play some music with you. And Keith, while we get set up to play, why don't you tell us how we can learn more about Joe and the museum, as well as James Burton?
When you're in Nashville, the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum is a must-see. Learn all about it on Huckabee.tv. While you're there, you'll also find links to the incredible music of James Burton and the James Burton Foundation that provides guitars and music instruction to kids and veterans nationwide. All right, James, take it away.